morning. Welcome to overcast Winnipeg. No use looking out the window. It's kind of gray out there. Although looking at it now, I'm seeing that the street has dried up. I woke up early this morning and I heard it raining on the roof. Anyway, no sunrise, that's for sure, to show you. Our walkers did come past. I just happened to see them again. And when I saw them pass by the monitor, I thought, are they wearing matching Bill's Honda or Bill's Cycle t-shirts? Yeah, they were, it looked like they got matching t-shirts. I don't think they were Bill's Cycle though. Okay, anyway, we are going to spray today. As the saying goes, come hell or high water, we're going to spray. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get my 388 or 338 mixed up here. First of all, I'll use my, you know what, instead of talking about what I'm going to do, why don't I just do it? I guess it's because talk is cheap and talk is easy. I got one of Gabe's filters here ready to filter out the lumps. As I can well imagine by now, this has been probably opened up about 10 times, and there's going to be little tiny lumps that will easily plug the airbrush. Okay, we are basically ready to go here. I'm trying to debate, do I put on my zoom lens and do my zoom right in thing, or do I just bring the camera in and then rely on the lens I've got on there now? It's got a 2-to-1 ratio, zoom ratio, nothing fantastic. Whereas this one, I think it's 8 or 9-to-1. So but the problem when I use this lens is if I'm going to spray something really small, it's great because I know that if I zoom right in as far as it will go, I'm still going to have the part in the field of view. Whereas some of these bigger parts, if I zoom this thing in all the way as far as it'll go, you're not going to see the whole thing, and it's too hard for me to... I think probably what I'm going to do is, for most of this stuff, in fact, I guess for all of this stuff, it's all big. So I probably won't use this lens. I'll probably just use the lens that's on there now and reposition the camera. That'll be pretty good. It'll be nice and sharp. You'll be able to see it. I know I have this thing about just moving right in, you know, and I'll take a little piece like this and it'll look huge on the screen. But that has its disadvantages, as you know, because the macro lens makes everything look terrible, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, let's recompose here. I don't think I've got any news. I got my windows open. Oh, somebody's got problems. Anyway, a while ago I could hear the birds tweeting. That was a lot nicer. Anyway, what do we got here? It's 8:27. I can well imagine that Missy's going to come by for her morning dog cookie within the next few minutes, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen just when I start to spray. I was going to mention something this morning and I forgot what it was. I think it had something to do with a comment that somebody made. You know, I should really write things down, and then sort of like I have a little teleprompter, you like have a little list underneath the camera here that you can't see, and it'll catch my eye and it'll say this and that and the other thing. In other words, notes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's. I can't remember what it was I was going to tell you. Let's just recompose here and get at it and try and get our spraying done. And I don't think there's anything here that I don't know how to do. Well, I do know how to heat up pizza. Oh, when I went to get the next cup in line, like for instance, tomorrow's going to be Toronto Raptors Day. So this morning when I reached up and I went to grab the next cup, I'd honestly forgot it was pizza day, and it almost put a smile on my face when I grabbed this cup. You know, pizza. Okay, let's recompose here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this in the to the Yamato table, and because that's where the paint shaker is, and I'm just going to shake it up. In case somebody's wondering, why is it that when I wipe this nail, because that's all this is, why is it that I hold onto the nail instead of onto the motor, which is a lot easier? The reason being is all I did was I just, this goes back over 40 years ago, I just soldered the nail onto the shaft there. A real crude job. I should have made something using a little brass tube and, you know, had a little agitator soldered onto the bottom. That would have actually been a lot better. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead now and get this shook up in the back room. At least that's the plan. Okay, we'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, I just used my cell phone to record that last scene in the Yamato room, and I didn't feel like dragging my camera into the back. Now, as long as the point of this is directly over top of the center of the cup, I think it'll drip in there okay. Yeah. I'm trying to get it so that it can be more seen better by the camera. I think that's about as good as I can get it. Sometimes I'm so busy tweaking stuff that I mess up other stuff. Okay. You know, maybe it's about 5 minutes ago since I shook it, so maybe just give it one last little shake there. I don't know if it'll make a whole lot of difference, but alrighty. Now, here we go. Maybe I should have used my larger cup. This TimberTech comes with 3 different size cups. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be needing this, but just in case. And the idea of the brush is in case I get some sort of tip drawing going on. Now, if you'll remember, we take off the needle cap very carefully. And I can't overemphasize when you go to clean this up, and if you're the type of person like me that likes to do back flushing, for goodness sakes, remember to put the needle cap back on. Otherwise, you're going to be poking yourself. Okay, another thing you got to do is be careful when you're putting it in the airbrush holder here. You don't bend even though this is rubber, it would be quite easy to bend that little tip. All right, I think we are ready to go here. Let's get this stuff moved out of the line of spray here. Well, and this is if I keep everything underneath this thing here, it'll probably be in focus. Let me just move in a little bit here. Maybe I should move down just slightly. All right. And I think we are ready to boogie here. Let's go. Oh, I didn't adjust my pressure here. Okay, it's still good from the last time. I think. Okay. Yeah, can you see that all right? Let me just check the monitor. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, fan on. Okay, now this one I want to be careful that I don't let it run over or spray around onto the other side. I don't think it will. It seems to me I did this before and it worked out okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, offhand, I think it went fairly well. I tried to show it to you after each piece was sprayed, trying to get the light to reflect so that you could see where the paint was and the paint wasn't, because as I've said so many times, when you're trying to paint something that is almost the same color as the paint, it's really difficult unless you can get the light just right. But I think we did pretty good here. We'll let these dry. Now, in all likelihood, somebody is thinking, well, don't you have to drill holes for the LEDs? Well, yeah, I do. And I had entertained the idea of drilling the holes first, and then I realized that, well, I'll get the holes exactly the right size, using that awl thing, and then I'm going to spray this. And what's going to happen is the holes are going to get smaller because it's going to have paint in them. So, but I think we did okay here. Yeah, I was kind of worried about maybe, having it coming around on the black, but it did really good. So might be a little heavier than it should be. It's starting to dry now, so it's beginning to look kind of mottled. But I think that once it's once it's dry, it's going to look good. We'll look at it closely once it's dry, but not with the macro lens, because then it won't look good. Okay, now I'm going to do my cleanup thing here, and we are going to put our needle cap very carefully and gently back on. That's one thing when you're doing stuff with these needles. Always be very gentle and slow. Don't squeeze the parts real tight in your fingers. Just sort of hold them loose enough. That's the way I do it. And that way there's less chance of putting stress on anything. And by the way, just about every spraying session somebody will say, what airbrush are you using? Well, I'm using this one. I got it off Amazon. It was cheap. It was a fraction of the cost of the Iwata. And to be really honest with you, I think it works better. That's my opinion. I'm sorry, Iwata lovers, but I mean, you can't knock success. I mean, I think one of the things that I noticed right away with this is when I go to screw this piece on, I guess they call it the handle. When you go to screw the handle on, the threads line up right away. On the Iwata, it was a fight to get it to go on. Now, one other thing that I found with the Iwata was that the nozzle would jam in here in the body, and at one time I had to use a pair of pliers to break it loose, and I never have that problem with this. I think there's just a slight difference in maybe angle of machining and so on. I think that what you might call the Morse taper on this might be a little bit more coarse and not so fine. Yeah, sometimes precision is not a good thing, and I think the Iwata is more into precision. Okay, sorry, that's my opinion. So if I've hurt somebody's feelings, well, sorry. Okay, let's get cleaned up here. Oh, I realized that after I pressed stop here that there might be somebody that was wondering, well, how much paint did we actually use here? Well, I'm curious too. It's not like I already know and I'm doing a reenactment. I hate reenactments, to tell you the truth. Oh, we didn't use as much as I thought. I'm glad now that I did not use the large cup because I wouldn't have needed it. So I get to pour back about, I guess we used about a third of what you saw me pour in there. Okay, now we will clean up. Well, I just finished some spraying. And so it's good timing. Are you going to come in for it, Missy? Hey, you going to come in and get it? Hey?
I discovered I didn't have my cell phone, so I dashed in the house. I'm always afraid that I've been down over the grass. It's going to flip out of my pocket, you know?
Yeah. I have that trouble with my glasses. I'm always losing them out of my shirt when I tuck them in my shirt. These
the storms at 4 a.m.?
I woke up about that time and I heard something going on, but I went right back to sleep, so...
Yeah, it was a big light show. Big light show.
Yeah, I'm...
Lots of lightning. Loud thunder, crack boom.
You're enjoying this one, aren't you?
She likes the dark ones, eh?
Yeah, I wish she could tell us which ones she liked the best. You know what? A person could put one of every flavor out and then let her go for it and see which one she goes for first.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. And then after, you know, so that she doesn't have too much to eat, as soon as when she's eating the first one,
Take the others away.
take the others away. But that would be mean, wouldn't it, Missy? That would be mean. Yeah. That would be mean.
She wanted to go see Merv in the biggest way, but Merv was busy. So we went and visited Arlie. Oh, there goes that pit bull puppy. He got away from his master.
Oh my. Is that the guy that has the motorcycle?
Maybe. He's the guy that lives up on the corner. Oh, the puppy thinks it's a game. It's tag. Come on, Dad. Oh, that's a riot.
You have such a big voice for such a little dog. Yes, you do. You have such a big voice. Yeah. Well, Missy, have we done enough videoing here? Have we done enough videoing here?
It might be a good day, for riding.
I'm hoping it's going to turn nice. Yeah, well, that's good.
Oh!
I had a good ride yesterday. I was out for about an hour. Good ride.
You go on all four directions?
I went all over. Yeah, I went to the old neighborhood, and then I went the fast way out to Birds Hill, like on Highway 59, where it's 80.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I was doing 80, 85, and everybody's passing me. And you know, like...
well, once you pass the perimeter, it's 90.
No, it was still 80. I was passing signs that said 80. Yeah, and that's the other side of the perimeter. Before you turn off to go into Birds Hill, that's where I turned off.
Yes, but I think it turns 90, if I remember correctly, sometime before Birds Hill.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that. I was too busy clinging.
Maybe halfway.
I was clinging to the handlebars for dear life.
Yes, I know. All sorts of traffic all over the place, transports.
Yeah.
People in a hurry and not necessarily always so sober on the weekend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's right. They're heading out to the lake.
So you turned left into Birds Hill and did you come back down
No, I came back the regular way.
Raleigh?
Yeah. I swung over onto Henderson. Anyway, we got painting. I got my airbrush to clean up here. Yes, I got my airbrush to clean up. I gotta go, Missy.
Did you get onto La Jamodier at Peguis Trail?
No. I went to McLeod.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, gotta
and
go,
then
Missy.
got on Peguis there. Wow. Then got on La Jamodier there.
Max, you're making me think, and I can't think and pet dogs at the same time.
Yeah. You had a long run out there on Lodge.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was fun. Okay, we are all cleaned up. We are sort of back to normal. And I'm guessing an hour or two has passed since we sprayed this. And I'm thinking that it came out really, really good. But I haven't looked at it really, really close yet. And what I want to determine is, do I think that going to all the extra work of washing the surfaces with the in the vinegar actually made a difference? Like I say, right now it looks really, really good. At first I was thinking that I had the, what do they call it, the flow retarder in this, but I didn't have it in this one. This one's just strictly got the, it was highly thinned out. I think probably right now it's only 50-50, but originally I'd actually had 60% thinner. Yeah, because I remember when I was putting it from the pipette into the cup on the airbrush, I was thinking it looks like it's thickened up a little bit. Like, in other words, some of the thinner may have evaporated. Or is this the one that we added the other jar of 338 to? Maybe that's what it was, and that would have thickened it up. I thought it was maybe borderline on being not thin enough, and yet it did seem to come out of the airbrush really, really well. Oh, just in case somebody is wondering, why did I take the needle cap off of the airbrush? Well, I have found, just by accident I think, that the airbrush, I don't have any problem with clogging up on the end of the tip of the needle, or tip drying, or what do you want to call it. And I haven't had any spitting problems or anything like that, so that's why I take it off now. Even though it probably may work better with it on at first. And this maybe doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. Anyway, let's recompose here and move in nice and close and see if we can get the light to reflect off the surface of this, so we can see, you know, how did it come out. Okay, maybe I should take a snapshot with my other camera here. But what's happening right now is the light is bouncing off of this straight up into the lens. And I think if I was to put a mirror on here, you'd be able to see what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, this is just the way I do things. There might be a better way. So, okay, this looks pretty good to me. Okay, there's that one. Got this one. If there's any places that are a little bit bare, they will come through as being shiny. And I'm not seeing anything. And as near as I can tell, the paint has done a really good job at shrink wrapping around all the details. Okay, and the last one. Now this is the one that I was concerned that possibly the blue tack may have made some sort of stain, you might say, on the painted side, on the other side. But I haven't really noticed anything here. There probably is a slight bit of residue, but I'm not really seeing it. Well, I'm seeing sunshine and patches of blue sky out there. You know what that means, right? Yep. Also, I'm getting a coffee visitor later this afternoon. Not quite as early as usual, but hey, it's Father's Day and somebody's coming over to see me. So, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.